For more than 1,000 years, there existed a city unlike any other on Earth. A city that did not rise from fertile plains or towering mountains, but from water. A place built upon thousands of wooden pillars driven deep into the mud of a quiet lagoon. A place where the streets were canals, where boats replaced horses, and where merchants traveled by water instead of road. This was Venice, the most serene republic. To medieval travelers, Venice seemed almost impossible, a city floating upon the sea, a miracle of human determination and ingenuity. Generation after generation, the Venetians built their homes, their churches, and their palaces upon fragile foundations beneath the water. And somehow, the city endured. From this unlikely beginning, Venice grew into one of the most powerful states in Europe. Its ships crossed the Mediterranean Sea, its merchants traveled across continents, and its diplomats negotiated with kings and emperors. Spices from India arrived in its markets, silks from China passed through its warehouses, precious metals and rare goods flowed into the city from distant lands. Venice became a gateway between civilizations, a meeting point of East and West. As wealth poured into the city, magnificent buildings rose along the canals. Marble palaces reflected in the shimmering water, church domes towered above narrow streets, and merchants grew rich beyond imagination. Fortunes were made, families rose to power, and Venice became a maritime empire. Its fleet dominated the Mediterranean. Hundreds of ships sailed beneath the banner of St. Mark. They carried goods, protected trade routes, and ensured the Republic's prosperity. For centuries, Venice ruled the seas. By the 18th century, Venice had grown into one of the largest and most fascinating cities in Europe. Nearly 140,000 people lived within its narrow streets and crowded canals. The city stretched across small islands in the lagoon, each neighborhood connected by bridges that arched gracefully above the water. More than 400 bridges linked the districts together, creating a maze of passageways and canals. At the center of Venice flowed the Grand Canal, a sweeping waterway nearly 4 kilometers long. It curved through the city like a shining ribbon. Along its banks stood magnificent palaces built by wealthy merchant families. Their marble facades glittered in the sunlight. Tall windows overlooked the passing gondolas, and elegant staircases descended directly into the water. Gondolas became the lifeblood of the city. Long, narrow boats painted black, guided by skilled gondoliers who navigated the twisting canals with effortless precision. Thousands of these boats moved through Venice every day, carrying merchants, nobles, travelers, and goods. But life in Venice was not always comfortable. The canals that gave the city its beauty also created constant challenges. Sanitation was difficult. Waste often flowed directly into the waterways. During hot summer days, the canals could become stagnant and foul. Disease sometimes spread through crowded neighborhoods. Yet despite these difficulties, Venice remained one of the most enchanting cities in Europe. Visitors arrived from across the continent. Artists painted its shimmering canals. Writers described its mysterious beauty, and musicians filled its churches and theaters with music. Venice was not just a city, it was an experience, a place unlike anywhere else in the world. At the heart of Venetian society stood Piazza San Marco, the great square that served as the social center of the Republic. Here stood St. Mark's Basilica, its golden mosaics glowing beneath the sunlight. Nearby rose the tall bell tower, watching silently over the city. Every day, the square filled with life. Nobles walked beneath elegant arcades. Merchants discussed business. Travelers gazed in wonder at the magnificent architecture, and pigeons gathered in great flocks across the stones. But the true spirit of Venice emerged during one extraordinary season, Carnival. For weeks each winter, the city transformed into a world of mystery and celebration. Masks covered faces, identity disappeared, and the rigid divisions of society began to blur. Behind a mask, a noble could speak with a merchant. A stranger could reveal secrets without fear. The boundaries of class faded into anonymity. The streets filled with music. Lanterns glowed along the canals. Masked figures wandered through the night, wearing elaborate costumes of silk and velvet. Inside great palaces, magnificent balls were held beneath sparkling chandeliers. Dancers moved gracefully across marble floors, and laughter echoed through candle-lit halls. For a few magical weeks each year, Venice became a city of endless celebration. But behind the glittering masks, trouble was quietly growing. Then, in the closing years of the 18th century, a new force emerged in Europe. A young general named Napoleon Bonaparte. His armies moved rapidly across the continent. Kingdoms collapsed before him, republics fell, and the political map of Europe began to change. In 1797, Napoleon turned his attention toward Venice. For more than 1,000 years, the Venetian Republic had survived wars, rival empires, and shifting alliances. But this time, there would be no heroic defense. Napoleon issued a simple ultimatum: surrender or face destruction. The leaders of Venice were divided and uncertain. Their military was weak, their navy no longer capable of defending the Republic. And so, in a decision that shocked the world, Venice surrendered. Without a single battle, the most serene republic came to an end. More than 1,000 years of independence vanished in a moment. French troops entered the city. Treasures were seized, artworks were taken, symbols of Venetian power were dismantled. Even the famous bronze horses of St. Mark's Basilica were removed and sent to Paris. The great maritime empire of Venice had fallen, but the beauty of the city endured. Its canals still shimmered beneath the sun, its bridges still connected the islands of the lagoon, and its story, a story of rise, splendor, and decline, continued to captivate the world. Beyond the glittering festivals and magnificent palaces, the power of Venice was slowly fading. The world was changing. New trade routes across the Atlantic Ocean had begun to reshape global commerce. Spain, Portugal, Britain, and France were rising as powerful maritime empires, and the Mediterranean was no longer the center of world trade. For Venice, this shift was devastating. The city that had once controlled the flow of goods between east and west found itself increasingly bypassed. Merchants discovered faster and more profitable routes. Trade declined, and the once mighty Venetian fleet grew smaller each year. The Arsenal shipyard, once the greatest industrial complex in Europe, began to fall silent. Where thousands of workers had once built ships with astonishing speed, only a few remained. The docks grew quiet. The sounds of industry faded. Venice still appeared wealthy. Its palaces still glittered beside the Grand Canal. Its nobles still hosted extravagant gatherings. But beneath the surface, the Republic was weakening. Many noble families struggled with debt. The economy faltered, and the government found it increasingly difficult to maintain its influence. Venice had become a city living on memories, a beautiful relic of a glorious past.